up, fam? It's me, your favorite cousin, your favorite uncle, your favorite nephew, your favorite father, your favorite son, your best friend's best friend, Dr. Larry, and welcome to Living for You, the YouTube channel. This is a safe space, a positive place where we come together and we grow and we get in the know. We talk everything from popular culture, media, entertainment, life coaching, and so forth. That is why we're here. As I said to those of you who are new in the back of the room, welcome to Living for You. I'm a life coach. I'm Dr. Larry Smith. I'm a certified life coach, but I'm also a spiritual coach. I consider myself a spiritualist. And that's no hoo-ha weird, just I dive into spiritualness and spiritualism, and I love spirit, and I appreciate God and all of those wonderful, beautiful angels and ancestors and people who show us love and peace and positivity and light. So if you want to know more about me, you can actually go to www.liveforyoucoaching.com. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram or on Facebook. So www.liveforyou.com, or follow me on Instagram or on Facebook at Dr. Larry Smith on both platforms. I had to jump on here. You guys see I'm just wearing a basic white tee. You guys may have never seen me in a white tee. I don't know. Maybe you have. Maybe I've done a video in one. I like it. But it's a nice tee. I enjoy this shirt a lot, actually. It's actually comfortable and breathable and airy, and I love it. I might do more videos in just a little less formally or whatever and just jump on. But I want to jump on because y'all know I could not go this week without addressing that daggone Porsha Williams and her breaking the internet last week, or at least earlier this week. We find out that she was engaged to Fallon, her ex-husband, who was one of her co-stars on the show, after about a month. And we didn't even fully know what was going on with her and Dennis. And we thought Fallon and her husband either just divorced due to allegations of cheating. Let me just say, it's an entanglement that is a mess and a web of stuff that's all going on that is just crazy. It is the kind of stuff that keeps these housewife shows going. Just when we think it was crazy, it gets crazier. Just when we think it was insane, it gets insaner. Just when we think it was scandalous, it gets scandalous. Either she's trying to keep a peach, or this peach is deranged. I don't know what's going on, but there's a lot going on with Porsha. But what I wanted to do, instead of just going down, because you can go through to a lot of YouTube channels. DJ Richie Sky, shout out to Richie Sky. Bonnie Blue, you can go out to Bonnie Blue. Shout out Louisiana homegirl and fellow Gemini. We love her. You can actually go out to Layla Lynn. You can go out to Funky Geneva. That's the boy. Quentin, shout outs to Quentin. You can go out to a lot of different places. B. Scott, it has been posted a lot about it. B. Scott's very funny. Shout out to B. Scott. There's a lot of places you can go and get the rundown and all the 411 and the info and this story and that story and this person that. But this is the only place you can go and get this conversation from a life coach's perspective, because I think that's important. I actually personally think, and hopefully she does, I'm just speaking from what I perceive, Porsha might need to sit down with a life coach, right? Because we have followed Porsha, at least at this point now, for about 7 years almost, 6, 7 years, maybe more. I don't know. I just remember when she first came, she was married to the football quarterback, Cordell Stewart. And she came in as this princess who had this great life. She had a husband who loved her. He bought everything she wanted. She lived in this dream life, dream house. She had this dream life. She's the daughter of Legacy, the great civil rights icon, best friend of Martin Luther King, Hosea Williams. She just had this perfect setup coming in. And she was also very chaste, right? A lot of chastity. She was very proper and prim, and she just wasn't the Porsha she is today. She was just a completely different person. And then, of course, over the years, she wound up getting a divorce. Cordell filed for divorce. She get a divorce. And it started out messy. It got kind of weird. She was calling names. He was calling names. Money issues. All kinds of crazy stuff. And she went through several incantations and incarnations in her relationship life, dating different people. She dated this guy named Duke. She dated this Hispanic guy named Oliver. She, it was just so many different incarnations of who Porsha Williams eventually became. Nevertheless, I was just, impressed with Porsha and her growth. Just a moment. All right, we're back. That little pause was just simply for us to get our lighting back together, because there's nothing like good lighting, you guys know. But anyway, you probably wouldn't even notice the pause, so I'm going to edit it out anyway. But anyhow, as I was saying, I was impressed with the growth that I had seen in Porsha. But within these last 3 or 4 years, and it really starts with that whole situation between her, Phaedra, and Candy, in which she accused Candy of, you know, some unsavory stuff because of what her and Phaedra had talked about, and just this whole thing. From that point on, I started to see the Porsha Stewart unravel, or the Porsha Williams unraveling, right? And she was still working. She was still becoming one of the most popular housewives on the franchise. She was working at Dish Nation, and I was still loving Porsha. But even in the back of my mind, I'm watching her as she's just unraveling into a weird space. And like I said, I don't know the girl. I would like to know Porsha. I think Porsha is fun. But I was just like, what's going on? So now with this situation, I'm kind of like, what's going on? Are you okay? I'm worried about her mental and emotional health, because I feel like now it's just like I'm selling myself to the story. I'm selling myself to the storyline, to the media, to people. What people want to see is the scandal, and I'm going to give them a scandal. Maybe this is all orchestrated and she's just giving us a storyline, but if it's not, there's something deeper. And as I go back into my recollection of Porsha, I realized several things as she would talk. She got daddy issues. Some of that came out on the show, but there's a little girl in there who wants a man who can take care of her. She has the sometimes moment of where she projects, and Portia's a Cancer, so with Cancers it's hard to tell, because sometimes they project an air of independence, but on the same time there's so many feelings beneath them. Cancers are, to me, the proverbial duck of the zodiac, because they portray this competence, this strength, this responsibility on top, but on the bottom they're an emotional paddling mess. And how do I know? My moon is Cancer. My sun is Gemini, but my moon is Cancer, so I know about the emotional stuff that they try to guard. And if you think about the Cancer sign just in like physical terms, it's a crab, right? A crab has this hard outer shell, but the inside is really soft and vulnerable to whatever. Even at seafood boils. Sorry, a little twist of humor. But anyway, so Portia's, she's showing, well, I'm strong, I'm independent, I don't need a man, I just want a man for a baby. She said that at one point, not knowing if she really meant that, but she said that. But on the side, there's this emotional, fragile girl who just wants a man to take care of her. Because the men she's picking are broke men. Cordell wasn't a broke man, the man's multimillionaire. Dennis isn't a broke man, the man's a multimillionaire. This new guy, Simon, Phelan's ex-husband, isn't a broke man. He's probably the richest of all three. Or maybe him and Cordell are on the same path as far as economics go. I don't know their money, but I know what I've seen and what's been projected and what's out there on the net. On the internet, out there in the internet world. Sometimes it's true, but you can tell what's true or not, and Simon got money. So Portia's finding daddy-like figures. Dennis didn't work out, but most of the time she's older guys. It's people who she feels can take care of her and her well-being. But like I said, for me, my question is, what is your emotional well-being? Is Porsha strong enough as an independent woman, as competent and emotionally strong enough not to take a man that might not be good for her? Right? We go back to Cordell. There were alleged rumors about Cordell, but Cordell was very daddy-like even in his presence on how he dealt with her in many ways. She didn't do certain things because her husband might not approve of it. Remember they were talking about going to like the strip club? I think they were in Vegas. I'm not quite sure. But she was like, my husband allows me to. And you're like, everybody was like, allow? But you're a grown woman. Nevertheless, he pretty much daddied her, and she allowed that for the time it was allowed. And then we find out that perhaps it was some stuff she didn't speak about, that she just accepted about him. And I'm not into the rumor mill and spreading rumors, but those are her words. And she just accepted it for what it was. Or Dennis, who had cheated on her and had outside relationships, not privately, but publicly. And she embraced it and accepted it for a while until it became probably an embarrassment to her, to the outer shell of her cancer. And so that was an issue. And then now she gets engaged within a month or so time to a man who just got a divorce, who happens to probably also have a similar daddy complex, because he seems to only marry younger women, similar daddy complex to like Cordell. So my question is, what is she doing? Is her emotional, mental, and maybe even spiritual well-being? And Porsha, if you pass this somehow, which you might, because the internet and YouTube, well, it's all up in the algorithm. So if it pops up and you watching, I don't want you to think I don't think you have a spiritual life. I know you are a praying woman. We know that. You are a very saved, sanctified, and holy woman, which a lot of people don't always see that. But if you know Porsha and you've seen her, you know her family. Oh, she's definitely in the church and connected to spirit. But is it connecting to emotional well-being? Are you making these decisions from a place of, groundedness and rootedness of who you are? You don't have to act out of the broken girl. You don't have to act out of the wounded woman. You are a powerful, influential woman. Let me tell you, she's so powerful that when she disclosed that she had an engagement assignment, it literally broke the internet, and every blogger, now of course me, which I tried not to. I tried, I ain't gonna talk about this, but then I got a couple of emails and messages. Are you gonna mention Porsha? I'm like, no, I don't want to mention Porsha, but I'm going to mention it because that's what y'all watching, and the whole point of YouTube is for y'all to watch and to like videos and subscribe to the channel. So since I'm doing this, subscribe to the channel, like the video, keep hitting that thumbs up as many times, y'all. Give me about 1 million of these thumbs up so I can get all this stuff going on or whatever. But, I decided to talk about it because there is a spiritual coaching, mental, emotional component to it. Like, the question is, why is she doing it? The why. We've never gotten a why. And I'm not saying we deserve a why. Yeah, we're just observers. We don't really deserve a why into somebody's private, personal business. But your private, personal business just so happens to be on a television show that millions of us watch. And so when we see side-eye behavior, we give side eyes. And we're like, what, in my words, in the hell are you doing? What's going on? Are you okay? And that's why my wonder, my worry, my concern is she's okay. If she's happy, and this was legitimately a closed situation for Fallon and for Simon, and she just happens to come in and it becomes an open situation, then we have to embrace and be proud and be happy for who she is and where she's going. And hopefully it's more sustainable and long-term for her than some of her previous relationships. But the optics of it, that look crazy as hell. It looks crazy as hell. But it goes back to the conversation. And if you guys haven't seen my Yana Fix My Life Season 8 Episode 4 video, I talk about the brokenness of the person, the little girl or the little boy or the wounded woman or the wounded man, mistreated man. If we don't go in and dive on those things, we will make the same mistakes over and over again. We attract the energy for things that we need healing in. And a lot of people don't realize that and recognize that if you keep attracting the same kind of relationship, that's because that's the universe, i.e. spirit, aka God, however you want to call that energy that builds things around your life, your ancestors, whomever, trying to tell you this got to be fixed because it's destructive and it's damaging to you, your psyche, your emotion, your spirit, and even in some regards, your physical being. Porsha's living the same relationships, at least from an outsider's perspective. Maybe there's some daddy issues that are unresolved there. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe there's some incomplete things that need to be dealt with. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a girl meeting a guy, getting engaged in a month, and a happy forever after love story that we just didn't see coming. I don't know, but like I said, on the optics of it, it looks crazy as hell. But I'm talking about it. It's getting the news, and so if that was the intention, then there you go. Or, like I said, if she's in love, she's in love. I don't dispel or dispute or hate love. I love love. Love is love. Love is great. Love is wonderful. Love is kind. Love is just. Love is smart. But I don't know what this is going. So we'll just see. And if there's a conclusion that needs to be talked about, or a part 2 to this that comes out, because stuff unfolds all the time and stuff is still unfolding around the story, and I'm sure once the season starts, stuff's going to unfold, because I saw Porsha even got her, I think it was a 3-part series spinoff. They're going to possibly include this relationship and all this conversation and the craziness. And Porsha, what happened to Black Lives Matter? Can you go back to protesting? I loved Porsha for the people. I loved Porsha Luther King, as somebody called it. I think it was Nene. I loved it because I was like, she has a purpose. And when she was in her purpose, she was a full wattage of light, a full wattage of energy. She was just there. Can we get that, Porsha, more? Because the scandalous stuff is we got questions. We got questions. That's it. I don't want to spend too much time talking on this. I feel like I've talked about this 14 minutes too long. I could have just been 1 minute, say, hey, Porsha, interesting, weird, and moved on by the day. But anyway, family, I had to do it. I was asked to do it. I've done it. So I hope you liked it. If you liked it, like the videos, share the videos. Subscribe to the channel if you're just watching it and you haven't done that. Why are you wasting your time watching these videos from A to Z and you haven't subscribed? Subscribe. It's fun. Contribute. Leave comments in the comments section. Send me emails at drlarry@liveforyoucoaching.com, or on Instagram, DM me, or Facebook, message me, however you want to reach out to me. If you want some coaching, hey, I'm here. That's what I do. I am a life and spiritual coach. I can either do it just a straight, plain life coaching way, or we can add some spiritual components like some crystals and some candles and some incense and some fragrances and some other praying and meditation things to it. We can do it. Whatever you got, I got. We can try to break free from some of the traumatic things so that you're not making the same mistakes just like Porsha seems to be doing. Anyway, as I always say, I love you. Love you, love you with the love of Christ, deeply, from a deep place. And I will see you in the next video.